Good morning, Christy Mattoon here with Rewire. If you're watching this, thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate that. I try to provide information that's helpful, that's things you can do for yourself in the now moment that will perpetuate you into your future and help you as you're moving through, especially this period of time, but any period of time. And, it's energy work. It's all about understanding your physiology and the way this all works together, and how when you come into your own power, you can actually perpetuate yourself into a better life. You don't have to take whatever was given to you, right? So it's that whole idea that whatever we learned is what we are. Well, learn something new because it'll greatly affect you. I want to talk today about what's going on in the country, which is what everybody's talking about, but from a different standpoint. The coronavirus is what it is, and it's causing and wreaking havoc the way it is. And we have all the information on that. We know all of that. What I want to talk about is what else. What else is going on in your life? Because I know that what else is going on in my life is affecting me way more deeply, on a deeper level, than the coronavirus is. And we're on lockdown. All the restaurants are closed. Only vital resource kind of things are still open. And I live up in a mountain town. We're up at 7,000 feet in the Utah mountains, relatively secluded. To get to any major store, I have to drive 30 minutes one direction or 45 minutes another direction. There is no Walmart. We do have a dollar store. We have one little grocery store, but there are no major retailers up here. There's nothing where I live. There is nothing major. And so we have to drive to get anywhere, to get anything. So we are prepared. It's the way you live, right? It's the way you live. So being on lockdown is kind of funny because the kids up here still run around in the streets and do what they do. But aside from all of that, what else is going on in your life? The what else's that are going on in my life are affecting me way deeper. And probably because of all this other stuff going on too, it's made it harder to get through. But I want you to remember those things and honor them. Honor them, right? Respect yourself enough to slow yourself down. Put your finger on the other things that are going on in your life that are important to you, that don't necessarily happen to do with the coronavirus, even though the virus itself and the circumstances are making the thing harder to get through. Do you understand what I'm saying? That thing would have happened regardless of the coronavirus. So let me walk you through a little bit of my existence, and it'll give you some idea. Since the onset of all of this, we were forced into a move by a landlord who decided to sell his house and let us know in short notice. We ended up buying a house, which is quite lovely, but in the middle of all this turmoil and mayhem, have not really settled into enjoying it. And of course, now knowing that everything has dropped in value, house that we just bought for an extraordinary amount of money, which actually was at a very good price, is probably worth nothing, right? Because who's buying houses right now? Which is fine. We have a house. We have a place. I am so grateful. I can't even tell you. In the middle of all this, my son had an issue with his jaw, infection, possible root canal, trying to find a doctor. So this was after everything started getting really bad. Trying to find a doctor that would help him out was a little bit tough, and resources were tough because of his situation with his medical insurance. So that happened. Our cat got attacked by something. She's an indoor kind of cat. Got attacked by something, and it pierced her spine, what looks like on either side, but the one part grazed over her skin. One part went up into her back about 3 inches and piled the muscle up. So there's a huge lump of muscle. The vet that saw her actually thought she had been shot. So he was looking for a bullet. It looked like a bullet wound, but there was nothing. And so whatever did happen to her, she's highly traumatized, very skitsy right now. And that's been really sad and hard to deal with. When she came back home, it was snowing out. She had been out all night. She was half frozen to death. We couldn't find her. I don't even know. It's horrifying, heartbreaking. And then I get the news the next day, and this is all like days apart kind of stuff. I get the news the next day that my dad's in the hospital, was hospitalized that morning with blood sugars up over 1,000. By the time they got him into a room, out of the ER, into the ICU, his blood sugar was still 1,001. Highly dangerous. They were surprised he wasn't dead already. He lived through it. He's still alive. He's still in the hospital. This is probably a week into this now or so. And how the coronavirus affected that, right? We can't even get into the hospital to see him. They locked, the day he went into the hospital that night, they were locking all the hospitals down. So my oldest, or one of my older brothers, got in to see him. He was there for probably about 5 hours from the point they moved him from the ER into the ICU. But now my brother's sitting around going, because of all of this, I exposed myself to the dangers that exist with the germs in the hospital on top of the coronavirus. Like everything, right? And Dad's still in there. We get to talk to him. We finally got a phone up to him. So now he's in a circle of texting with everybody. And so that's kind of cool. His throat is very messed up and gargly. If you get on the phone with him, he's very hard to understand. But he is texting and he's doing things. They go into surgery today. So if it's in your heart and you see this, please pray for him for a strong heart to get through this surgery. They're putting stents in because of what the damage, that high of a blood sugar for a prolonged period of time, which was only probably less than 24 hours, significantly damaged organs. And so we're still sorting through that. So, if you have it in your heart, please send energy healing, prayers, Reiki, whatever it is you do. I am open, and God will funnel your information. Please, just whatever you do is wonderful. His name is Dean. I do have a picture of him on my Facebook page, so you can go there and, click like or whatever, and you can see him. So we are very receptive to that. I am very receptive to that. And I thank you profusely for your love and prayers over him. And what I think in all of this is that when, the heart-centered nature, if you can stay in a calm place regardless, right? Even through the tears, even through the anguish, even through, the sadness, you have to do those things inside the place of your heart. If you're doing it inside your head in the duality and polarity, that's when things get ugly and sticky and scary and fearful and messy. If you're doing those kind of activities, even in the sadness, if you bring it into your heart, you get peace, right? It transmutes your heart. And I've talked about this before. Your heart transmutes that information and it won't leave you in pain, even though it might be a little bit unsettling still. That unsettled feeling isn't your heart. Your spirit resides in your heart. And your spirit is whole and healthy, regardless of what's going on here. And if you can tap into that part of you, everything else that's going on too, right? You can come back into this, to this angle of peace. And so I think that's my message for this video is even with everything going on, you have to come back into your heart, put your hands over your heart, do the work, take the steps to make sure you're remaining in that place of peace. And I've heard many, many people saying it over and over. You've got nothing else to do right now. If you're on lockdown, the inner work is what you should be doing. And I think that's exactly part of this whole process, is how many of us can come back into our inner self and release some of the junk that we've been holding on to for lifetimes and find our spirit parts, find our spirit self, and really set in that and start transmuting all the old yucky emotions. So that's my word. That's what I'm telling you right now. That's where I'm at. I appreciate your prayers and your love, and I send them back to you. I'm going to talk in the next video about an 8-year-old I worked with yesterday, and hopefully it'll give you some hope. And we're going to go back through neutralizing the coronavirus. I'm going to walk you back through that again because that's what I taught him yesterday. And we'll just keep moving from there. I bless you. I thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe. Share these videos. If they help you, they'll help somebody else. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you.